The dust of Galilee settled on the old paths, but the air was thick with expectation. It was a world of rigid rules, of power held tightly by the few, and fear clinging to the many. In a quiet, unremarkable town, a carpenter named Jesus lived. He knew wood and stone, but he was about to build something far greater, a seismic shift in the human heart.
His first call wasn't to a king or a scholar, it was to fishermen, marginalized tax collectors, and women who were overlooked. They weren't the right people, but Jesus saw something in them, a raw, burning potential for change. He didn't just invite them, he elevated them. This wasn't a school, it was a revolution of belonging.
The crowd swelled, drawn by the power of his words that cut through the noise of tradition. He spoke of a kingdom not defined by borders or gold, but by justice, mercy, and radical love. His teachings were simple, yet impossibly demanding. Love your neighbor, and yes, even the one who actively hates you.
Consider the story of the leper. In that era, the disease meant more than suffering. It meant complete social death. The infected were literally barred, cursed, and untouchable. When one desperate man approached, society held its breath, waiting for Jesus to recoil. He did the opposite. He reached out and touched him. That touch was more than a healing. It was a profound act of defiance against a fear-driven system. He didn't just cure a body, he resurrected a social identity. He declared, "No human being is disposable." This was the core of his ministry, to seek out the unseen, the ignored, and the forgotten, and declare them priceless.
His actions constantly put him at odds with the religious elite. They saw God in complex rules, lengthy prayers, and untouchable temples. Jesus saw God in a hungry stomach, a kind word, and a simple act of forgiveness. He shattered their comfortable piety, reminding them that the Sabbath was made for humanity, not the other way around.
He told parables, stories so deeply rooted in everyday life that everyone could grasp the eternal truth beneath. The lost coin, the prodigal son, the generous landowner. They were master classes in empathy, demonstrating a God who celebrates the return of the lost more than the perfect obedience of the found.
One of the most powerful encounters was with the woman caught in a devastating social trap. Her accusers, cloaked in self-righteousness, brought her to him, demanding punishment, death by stoning. They were using her as a weapon to entrap Jesus. The air crackled with judgment and violence. Jesus simply knelt and began to write in the dust. Then he delivered a line that silenced millennia of moral hypocrisy. "Let the one among you who is without sin cast the first stone." One by one, their stones dropped. It was a profound lesson in introspection and the devastating cost of a judgmental spirit. He looked at the woman, now freed not by his power, but by her accuser's internal failure. He offered no lecture, only two imperatives. "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." This was grace, a clean slate, not conditional on perfection, but on the courage to start again. He gave her back her future. As his popularity grew, so did the threat he posed to the established order. His mission was misunderstood. People expected a military king to overthrow Rome. He spoke of a cross, a final, ultimate act of self-giving love that would overthrow not an empire, but the ultimate human enemy, death itself.
The final week arrived, marked by a simple, radical meal with his closest friends. In a world obsessed with status, he took a servant's towel and washed their dusty, tired feet. It was a silent lesson in leadership. True power is found in service, not in dominance.
The betrayal came swiftly, followed by a trial that was a mockery of justice. He was offered a way out, a chance to defend himself, but he remained largely silent. He willingly absorbed the violence and injustice of the world, choosing the path of love even when it led to agonizing sacrifice.
And then silence, a heavy stone, a sealed tomb. The hopes of his followers were crushed, seemingly extinguished forever. But the story didn't end there. In the quiet dawn of the third day, the ultimate reversal occurred. The stone was rolled away. Jesus' life and his eventual triumph over the grave was an affirmation that love is the most powerful force in the universe. It is a story not about rules, but about relationship. It's a challenge to every generation to dismantle the barriers we build, to seek out the lost, and to live a life fueled by radical hope, relentless grace, and the revolutionary power of service.